Hello, friends. This is Carolyn Cooper from SimplyAlign, and I am continuing this awesome series of certified SimplyAlign practitioners, spotlighting them so y'all can get to know them. And today I have with me Marsha Millett. So, Marsha, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started doing SimplyAlign.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Hey, I married a few years after I got out of high school. I married my high school crush, I guess, as you would want to call him. And he's been my crush for ever since. For 42 years we've been married. And so that's been kind of fun. We have 5 adult children now, and they're off creating their own lives and doing good things. And they have given us 12, a dozen now, grandchildren. They all live close by, and I know it's so much fun. It is definitely a beautiful phase of life. I am just enjoying these little grandchildren and enjoying being part of their lives. So that's kind of my family. That's part of what that is. But my education was in early childhood development. And so when I started having children, I wanted to be home with them. I just had this yearning to be home with them. And so I opened up a childcare within my home and a preschool. And for the next 33 years, I did what I called my work was child's play. People would ask me what I did, and I'm like, my work's child's play. I worked with the children, and I had preschool and a daycare in my home for 33 years. But
Wow.
like I got introduced to Simply Aligned. Um, Partway through that, I started having, like, how life just kind of happens and you have all kinds of little things that you're learning through life. And I started having panic attacks. I started having, it almost felt like an elephant on my chest, almost similar to like if you were having a heart attack. And it was kind of scary for me. And at that same time, I started having really severe allergies where my eyes would swell completely shut. I looked like a monster when these happened because my eyes would swell completely shut. The membranes of my nose would close. My throat would close up. My ears would close up. It would go into kind of anaphylactic shock. So it was kind of scary. And I didn't know anything about energy work. I had no idea what energy work was. And so I just tried to do all the things I could think of. And then one time many people don't know, but Carolyn and I went to school together. And so I knew her and I knew, the caliber of person she was. But for some reason, and it's never happened since, it's never happened before. I just kept getting this yearning. It's like, find out what Carolyn does. And I'm like, what? That is so odd that I would keep hearing that. And so I finally, after I think it actually was like 6 months that I waited on hearing that on a continual basis. And I thought it was so odd. But I finally Googled your name and found out this whole new magical world. And I was completely taken back by it. I didn't really quite understand it, but I decided to just investigate a little bit more in a roundabout way. I ended up doing a session, scheduling a session, and I had a session. I didn't really even know what to think that first session. I have to be honest. I was like, this is really interesting. And then that's as far as I thought after the session. But then it was like the days afterwards, I was like, something is different. I'm not having panic attacks. My insides feel calm. I was being able to eat the things that I normally would have been really nervous to eat. And I just take little bites. I was able to eat those. And I'm like, could that have worked that fast? And I'm not saying it always does, but it did. It did for me. And so I looked into it a little bit more and ended up signing up, not knowing anything, not knowing anything about it. I just signed up just blindly because I knew I had that enough of that witness that I was supposed to do something, and I was supposed to do something different and unique, not only for myself but for my family. And that's what I thought I was signing up for, was for myself and my family. And that's where it all started. Sorry, that was kind of a long, quick little
It
thing.
was good. It was riveting. And now you have tons of clients who just adore you. And like, who knew where you just walked through the door where you felt the nudge? That's awesome. So Marsha, what type of, I know you work on lots of different issues with people, but do you have kind of a special niche, or what do you enjoy working with the most? What type of?
And when when you ask that question, it's almost like, just when I think, like, someone will come to me with something and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if this will cover that. It does. It does. And it's so exciting, but I do love working on the body. I have to say, I love our body we've been told it's our sacred barometer, and it's always talking to us. It's always talking to us, and we have the capacity to always listen.
So just to let listeners know, like, we don't physically diagnose anything. That's not even where we're working. We're going down underneath and going, okay, what's twisted up in the energy here? What emotions are stuck here from childhood or from your divorce 3 years ago, or, whatever that is.
The generational is huge in that.
No, generational. Yeah.
Generational is huge. And I know when I take my car into be serviced and there's a red light on, they're not going in and tapping on that red light and pulling the red light out. They're going into the wiring. They're going into the mechanics of the car. Feels like that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're not diagnosing. We're not, giving recommendations. We're just trying to help the process of life.
How do you do the SimplyAlign work? And I know you have a ton of stories. You've done this.
So many stories. So many stories, because every client is a story, pretty much. But I'll tell you one of my very first ones, because I was so new, and like I said, I was really new. I did not know much about energy work. I was learning this as I went. I had my daycare. I had I think at the time I had 8 or 9 children, including my own. And so life was busy, it was busy, but I had one little boy in my daycare that had, his allergies toward peanuts was like really severe. It wasn't just like a little allergy. It was really severe. And he would just be sad every time we had a party or something. He'd be really sad because we had to keep everything separate, and we had to, kids would bring their little trick or treat things or whatever. We had to keep everything separate and be really careful for him. And one day I just asked his mom, I says, do you care if I just work on him a little bit and see if we can clear those? And she was all on board on that. And she said, yeah, go ahead. And so I did. And I did this while they were having lunch and while they were playing. I was just kind of checking on a few things here and there. And so it wasn't like I sat down with him and put him in a chair and did all this stuff with him. It was just as I went along with my day. And when she came, I'm like, well, I feel like it feels really good. I says, but I would never, ever just give him peanuts. So I said, would you just take him to the allergist, schedule an appointment, take him to the allergist, and just kind of get him checked? And back then you could get appointments quickly, so it's not like today. And so it was like 3 days later, she got him to the allergist and came back, and he had no allergies to peanuts. I saw him last night at a concert, and I asked him, I says, how are you doing? And he still does not have any allergies to peanuts.
So he's all grown up. He's grown up now.
He's 13 now.
Oh, okay.
He was 3 at the time. So you know what? It was so easy. And it wasn't like I had to do like this big drawn out thing. It was just part of what I was doing through the day. So I'd say that story basically for that reason, is sometimes we try to make things so complicated that it takes the fun out of the living part of it. And this technique, this SimplyAlign, is just so easy and so seamless, and it just goes along with life, and it just fits into life. And
Yeah.
so
it fits into life. Yeah. Um, yeah, I love that story. And I'm glad the boy's still doing very well.
I know, it's wonderful.
Yeah, so with a lot of energy healing modalities, like you lie on a massage table or you have like 6 appointments and Simply Align is so quick and easy and seamless. I think was that one of the words you used? Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
like it's intuition, it's intention. I mean, you can do it in the grocery store. Nobody's going to know. It's very discreet. You can do
Yeah.
it while the kids are having lunch. Yeah, I love that. Thanks for demonstrating that with that story. So, what do you wish more people knew or understood about energy work?
Ah, I love this because it is such a beautiful tool. When I was growing up, my dad was a professor, a doctor of psychology at a local college. And in, I think it was the late 60s, the early 70s, he brought the technique of biofeedback to the college to help his students who had severe anxieties and different issues. And those of you who don't know what biofeedback is, it's just they put electrodes, on your body to measure your heart rate and your blood pressure and the muscle tension and all that kind of stuff. And it is an amazing tool, and they still use it today. But what we're doing is so scientific. It's the same process, the same kind of what's the word I'm trying to use? Just kind of the same thing, the same concept. That's what I'm trying to find. Is we're talking to the body. We're going in, we're listening to what the body's telling us. We're listening to the energies within the body. We're doing what the body was meant to do. We're supposed to listen. We're supposed to talk. The body was meant to talk to us, and we were meant to listen. And so that's basically what it is instead of electrodes, we're actually doing some muscle testing. We're doing using the intuition that we've been given throughout our life. And so I just want people to realize that it is such a scientific, pure form that can help bring your life to just a better place of living. We go through life and there's so many obstacles, and we look at life as those obstacles instead of the obstacles making us what we are supposed to be. Because this process isn't anything like woo-woo or crazy or I don't know. It's just a beautiful process that is very scientific and the way we were created to heal our bodies and take care of us.
Yeah, it's just easy, natural. Yeah, good. So with all that said, like what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about doing like the Simply Align training?
Just do it. It will be something that you will never, ever regret or question, as a waste of time or money. It will just enhance every part of your life. It helps you see life and helps other people see life through a whole different lens. And you're able to finally be able to help. I don't even know what I would do right now. It's like with my adult children, I have adult children who live away, and they call me with issues or problems or whatever, and I can help, right? I
Yeah.
don't have to be right there. I can help. It just enhances life. So there's so much support in this community too. So if you were like me and you're like, I really don't know if I can even do it. Yeah, you can because I could. And if I can do it, then you can do it, because I was so green. And I didn't know what I was doing. And the support was just universal. You just,
Aw,
yeah.
thanks. And now, Marsha is the one that does, when we have new people in the cert track, Marsha's the one that does the sessions with them. So you're just paying it forward, and they just adore you. So
Yeah.
awesome. I'm always surprised how many people come to the Simply Align training that have no background. And so I have people a lot of times who have never ever had a session. They just learned of it through word of mouth, or they saw me speak, or they like found my YouTube station or so. Like somehow they're like, yeah, like they just feel drawn to it. And I always say, if you feel drawn to it, you have a place in it. Like,
Yeah, that's for sure.
yeah. So you're not alone in saying I knew nothing when I when I came. Yeah, it's a lot of people do that. It used to surprise me, and it doesn't anymore. And then we've got lots of people who have a lot of training and lots of different modalities too. So it's a cool mix of
Yeah,
all.
it doesn't really matter where you're at. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is you use it in such an easy, beautiful way. And I just like the ease and the comfort and the quickness of it. It just is, it's just quick and seamless. That's the best word, because just it's just good. Yeah.
Light.
Yes.
So how do you stay centered and aligned in your personal life? Like how do you do that and work on all clients and take care of your family and your home, and you got a lot going on.
A lot going on. Life has a lot going on. But you know what? My biggest thing is I absolutely try every single day. I have like what I call my power hour. And then some days when I have a little bit more time, it's my power hours. But and it's body, mind, heart, spirit, just like reading something good, doing some meditation, exercising, taking care of all those elements, the heart, mind, and body, spirit. And then, yeah, just trying to live good, healthy, clean life. I don't know, just moving forward, I've had my word. Carolyn does this thing that she's taught me, and it's find a word at the beginning of every year, and that becomes your word. And now, so we're almost to the end. My word has been aware. And part of this process of keeping myself aligned is I'm becoming very aware of what goes on up here. It's like, wow, the stories that brain can tell, right? And so now that I have the tools, it's like when something comes up, I'm like, why do I have that? Why does that thought about? And I can quickly just take care of that thought. It doesn't have to be a long process. Like, oh, I don't want that thought. So we're going to change that thought to something else. And it's really that quick. It really is. That's what this whole thing is. So if you're thinking of doing it, oh my goodness, it's going to be the best money you've spent for a long, long time. So
I like that word aware. That's a good the word for the year.
It's been powerful for me. I'm just like, I might take it another year just because it's been so powerful. But
Well, good. Oh, I've loved chatting with you, and I probably need to wrap it up, but I don't want to wrap it up without letting you tell people, where do they find you? Like, where's the best place for them to?
Yeah, you can go to my website at marshamillett.com. So it's Marsha and Millett. So 2 L's, 2 T's.com. And that takes you right to my website and to my calendar. Yeah, that's probably the easiest way. Yeah, I love this work. So I'm happy to help anybody or answer any questions anybody has. So
Nice. Okay, awesome. And Marsha is also on our certified practitioner directory at SimplyAlign.com. And the links are below. If you're watching this on YouTube, all the links are below that you need to find out more about the Simply Align training, or get to our practitioner directory and find Marsha and all the other interviews that I've done on here. Most of them. Most of them we've done interviews.
They've been great.
Okay, thank you so much, Marsha.
Thank you.
Okay,
So
bye-bye.
fun. Bye.